special day in the church's life. It's a kind of a special holiday in the church, but it has many different reasons for celebration. It's kind of strange because there's all sorts of things we think about today. First of all, today is the 12th day of Christmas. The last day of Christmas. Have you heard of the 12 days of Christmas?
Yeah.
There's even a Christmas carol about it, isn't there? Do you know that one?
Yeah.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love said, gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. Well, this is the 12th day. What did they bring? Was it
12.
Was it 12 drummers drumming? Or 12 pipers piping? I thought I might be one of them, but aren't you lucky? So
Google that.
it's the 12 days. It's the 12th day of Christmas on our calendar. But some Christians, especially Christians who live in Russia and in Greece and in Ukraine and places like that, and even some who live here in Canada, have a different kind of calendar that they use, different than our calendar. And so for them, this is Christmas Day.
What?
Yeah, this is Christmas Day. There's one of those congregations.
Yes, the Russian-Ukrainian, or the Ukrainian church meets here on Friday.
On
So
Friday, did they celebrate Christmas?
They may have. Yeah, I have to ask.
That's interesting. And Epiphany is also the celebration of light. That's why I put this stole on, because it celebrates the coming of the light of Christ. One other thing it celebrates. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Well, let me just give you a clue. Because Jim used to have a big box. And I don't have a big box. I never had a box. But here, I have a smaller box. And let's see what's in it. What kind of people?
I don't know. People. It's people.
Wow, those are
There's
nice.
3 of them.
Yeah, people.
Is that a clue that there are 3 of them?
Yeah. That's right.
The 3
Gods.
wise men. The 3 wise men. Today is the celebration of the time when the 3 wise men came to visit Jesus. In the story we always tell it, it all happens at the same time, but they had to follow a star, they had to come from a long way away, so it took them a while to get there. Actually, it took them more than just 12 days, it took them 2 years.
What?
But we'll pretend that it was just 12 days, and they get here on today, Epiphany, which is a celebration of the wise men coming. I want to just read that story in the Bible about them coming. After Jesus was born, some Magi, that was the name that the Bible often used for these wise men, Magi. After Jesus was born, some Magi came to visit him. Magi are sometimes called the wise ones or star watchers. The wise ones, this is an aside, but I think it's a really cute aside because my daughter's partner is Japanese, and sometimes the nuances really, she struggles with, as many people do who are learning English. So we keep on telling her these are the wise men, but she calls them the wise guys, which has a different nuance to it. The Magi were not Jewish like Mary and Joseph and Jesus. They came from a country far away. They said, "We have been looking at the stars. We think the stars tell us a ruler has been born to the Jewish people. Where will we find this child?" Herod was the king of the Jewish people. He was a very bad person. He was afraid that someone might try to be king instead of him. So when Herod heard that who the Magi were looking for, he was afraid. Herod had a meeting with the people who helped him. "Where do the prophets say that the Messiah, God's chosen one, will be born?" Herod asked. Herod's helpers looked in all the old books and said, "In Bethlehem." That's what's written in the books. So Herod talked to the Magi. This new ruler of the Jews is supposed to be born in Bethlehem. Why don't you go find this child? Then come back and tell me so that I can bring him some gifts too. Herod was lying. Herod wanted to get rid of the baby so it wouldn't grow up to be a king. The Magi went to Bethlehem. They saw a very bright star in the sky. The star is leading us, they said. Look, it has stopped moving. That must be the place where we will find the Messiah. That's how the Magi found Jesus. They gave Jesus some very nice gifts. There was shining gold, there was sweet-smelling incense, and a perfume called myrrh. That night, one of the Magi had a dream. Don't go back to Herod, the dream said. Herod wants to kill this new baby. So the Magi went back to their home by another way. So that's the story of the Magi, the wise men that we celebrate, the wise guys that we celebrate today. Now, I found out about practice of Epiphany that I'd never heard of before, and it's called chalking the door. Has anybody heard of chalking the door for Epiphany?
I've heard the term, but I don't know what it means.
Well, I assume that I know what you mean, but it's a tradition in Germany as well.
Ah,
Where the three wise men come to door. Well, it's children first start as three wise men. They go from door to door and they bless the house and write it on the door with a chalk.
yeah, well, this is written on the door with the chalk, and we tried to use chalk this morning. I wasn't going to write on the door because I don't want to get into trouble. So we tried it with chalk, but it wouldn't work. Drew, will you get will you get the... So this is how they chalked the door. So, what do you see there?
2019 CME.
2019, which is 2019, that's this year. So it's the first Sunday of this year. And the CMB stand for the names that have been given to the wise men. C, who is that?
Caspar.
Caspar. M, Melchior. B,
Balthazar.
Balthazar. So those are the first letters of the wise men. C for Caspar, M for Melchior, B for Balthazar. But they also stand for the first letters in a phrase in Latin, and I'm not even going to try to say the phrase in Latin. But the phrase says, "May Christ bless this house." So they put that on the door for the first Sunday of the new year, Epiphany. May Christ bless this house in 2019, and that's our prayer for here. So let's put it on the door. Do you go back and put it on the door? Do you want to hold that and come on? We'll come back to the door here. We'll just put it on this inside one.